Ready to find out more about the small businesses and artists in your town? Small Biz is where it is. Let's support our community by shopping small, keeping it local, and keeping things all fine and dangy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and seeing what we are up to, or what we have been up to.
Yes, for you guys, it's Happy Monday. Right now we're recording on a Friday. So cheers, Angie.
Cheers. I made a yummy little drink. Trying to make drinks that are clean, as calorie-free and sugar-free as possible. So we got tequila, a little coconut, lime sparkling water, a little bit of agave, and lime. It's really good. It's very
really
refreshing.
Good. Very clean tasting, very refreshing. Right. And we learned about the tequila being one of the better drinks for you when you're going to have a drink from our friend Sam from Matcha Nude, who... has her episode aired yet? It has. It was the last one that came on, I believe.
Yeah, it was last week's episode, and I've been being creative with some of the matcha drinks around here. I'm really loving it.
Yes.
I'm really, I've done some like spritzers, and I do it hot in the morning, and then I do like a latte. I gave you a latte the other day that I made.
You know what it reminded me of?
Yummy.
My
it's
grandfather.
Earthy tasting too.
My grandfather used to do, this is a southern thing, maybe for some people in the South, but my pop used to take iced tea, sweet iced tea, and put milk in it. Have you ever heard of that?
No, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I swear. And I would drink it with him once in a while. It wasn't my thing, but it was pretty good. It reminded me of that.
I guess that's kind of like what the matcha latte is.
I know, and I really liked it. It was very, it was like a creamy, refreshing drink, if there is such a thing. Yeah.
Interesting. It was probably super sweet tea.
Yeah. Oh, back then. Yeah, for sure. Are you kidding? Oh, yeah.
The kind that's like, woo.
Southern tea, like the tea you get at Cracker Barrel. Do they have Cracker Barrels here? Surely they do.
Yeah, I've seen a Cracker Barrel. Here, I'm going to try to look at the camera as opposed to turning this way, because I don't like my profile the way that it looks when I turn this way.
I sat up in front of you, too, so I keep leaning into the table because I don't know.
Plus, just, I haven't showered or anything today. I'm just like got the ponytail in and just chilling on the back porch. It's a Friday. We're recording. This is a Monday when you are joining us.
Yeah.
And anyway, what have we been up to?
Oh, you know what? It's funny you say that, because I noticed, I just did a quick mirror check before we started, for those of you watching. And I'm in video calls all the time at work. This has been a week when I had they were all audio calls until today. I had to jump on a video call, and as you could tell, I haven't shaved since like Monday. This is as much beard as I can grow, but since like Monday. So yeah, very casual. Oh, we've been doing a lot. We have been all around towns, I should say.
Yeah, you know what I love is I feel like we're still kind of vacationing, because we're going to different towns every weekend. So it's like we're traveling within the state, right? Not going too far away, about 45 minute to an hour drive wherever we're going. But we for the second time we went to Burnsville again.
Yeah,
and we're
back
really
to
starting
Burnsville.
A little bit fall in love with it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I really like that place. Yeah, we went back. We finally went with Chip, who's another new friend that we've made. Chip is from Body Tribe, which is a gym over in Micaville, which is really Burnsville. It's just a little space, just a bit from Burnsville. But so Chip has been trying to get together with us. We mentioned it last time we did an episode with just the two of us here. He offered to kind of show us around the Mica mines. And this was an incredibly beautiful hike. It's these 3 rivers that come down the mountain, and the rivers are all full of these rocks that have this mica stuff in them.
Oh, it's so pretty.
And as we get closer to the mine, as we're going up the hill, you see more of that mica stuff. In fact, we got some of it here somewhere, didn't we?
Well, we took a couple, souvenirs. I don't know if you're supposed to, but
little tiny rocks.
I mean, there's 500 million of them, but the mica is like, it looks like little plastic pieces on the ground is what it looks like. It flakes off real easily, or little pieces of glass almost even. But when you touch it, it feels like a phyllo dough almost is what it reminds me of.
I don't know what phyllo dough is.
It's what they make pastries out of, like turnovers and stuff. You know, that kind of croissant looking stuff.
It does. You're killing me. It is kind of like that.
Don't say croissant right now.
But But it is,
Yeah.
I looked it up. They still use mica in like makeups and
Makes sense.
I think the
It's got a
sheeting.
flaky kind of texture, so
Yeah,
it
I
would
want to
make
say
sense.
they also are like insulation for cables and everything, but
Oh,
it's really neat.
interesting.
And the mines there, like we walked down into one of them that you can it's not really, you can't go into it. It's kind of like a gigantic crater. And when I say gigantic, I'll throw some video up here, but it is massive. I mean, it is unbelievably big. And then there's
Yeah.
another one that looks almost like a well. It's just a hole that goes down in the ground.
That's scary because that's probably where they lowered people down, or maybe had like some type of little elevator type
Yeah, who knows?
mechanism.
Or ropes
Oh,
even.
no.
I don't know. Yeah, I suppose to get it out, they
Yeah.
probably had some. But it reminded me, I've gone down this YouTube rabbit hole lately of watching cavers and
Oh,
go
that's
through
scary.
these only
Ugh.
because it's stuff I would never do. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. But there's one called Hellhole where they're like squeezing their bodies through these tiny cracks 3 miles
way.
down or whatever it is, and it's horrifying. It's like I
It's
feel like
not
I'm
exciting.
I feel like I'm having a hard time breathing watching it. So anyway,
Yeah.
I wanted to fly my drone down inside that hole, but I'm just afraid.
You never
that,
know.
Yeah, lose
I mean, hey,
contact with it.
could test your insurance out.
Yeah,
That's
no
for
doubt.
sure. That's
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool thing to say
I lost
to you.
I lost it in a mine.
I lost it in a mine. I'm sorry. I just lost contact. But we got to tour the Body Tribe gym over there.
Oh yeah, that was cool too. You
And-
got to do the rings a little.
Yep. And then we checked out a cool little store down there that had some like oddities, some weird art, which I love.
You remember the name of that store? Because I don't.
I have a picture of it, but it's the oddities or something like that. Sorry, guys.
I don't either. We'll have to. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll pull up a picture here and put a link to it in the show
Yeah,
notes. But it
it
was
was
the
really-
coolest little place.
Oh yeah, like a nice little collection of local artists.
Yeah.
And just a very I'm all about presentation when you go into a store. I always like compliment people if their merchandising is really set up nicely, and their merchandising in the store was beautiful. And then they had, just for display, all these kind of like weird little collectibles and freaky looking things. Like they had a bunch of like stuffed raccoons that were dressed up as nuns and priests.
Oh
Really
my gosh,
weird.
I didn't even see that because I spent
Like oddities, you know what I mean? Like, so it was just really cool. And I chatted a little bit with him, but Dan chatted with the owner, Noah, one of the owners.
yeah.
And
It's
everybody
killing me
was,
that I can't think of the
yeah.
name. Was it called the Outpost?
Oh yes,
And the
that's what it
Micaville
is.
Outpost.
There it is.
Okay.
I thought it was the odd. I was thinking like oddities. Like, isn't there a Stephen King book or something like that?
Oh,
that's like-
Needful Things?
Oh, like
or
needful things. I think I was thinking kind of like along those lines. But anyway, we looked around a little bit. We had the dogs with us, but we're excited to go back there and actually check it out again whenever we can just kind of, one of us or, at a time can go in there and really look at the art and stuff, because I found a couple things that I think would be a cool
I bet.
addition to our collection.
Those dragons they had these little like fabric dragons are made of leather. that were
Yeah,
hanging
somebody
in the front.
hand sewed them, and they had like some, metal elements to them. They're just really cool looking. So
And now
anyway.
I feel like I've dropped the ball in there. I was supposed to be doing a bunch of filming, but here's why I didn't. Because we ran into Noah. Chip introduced us to him. Super nice guy. And we just started talking about the area and how much they love it there and how much they love dogs, and they do pictures of dogs. And of course, I'm holding a dog. So I'm like, Angie, I'll take the dogs. And then, you went on through the
Hold
store.
on 1 second. That dog hair is going to show up on the camera.
you went on through the store, and it was from what I saw just from the front
Yeah.
desk, it was really cool. But I never really got to
Yeah.
walk around in there much.
Anyway, love that little town. After we did the hike, we went downtown Burnsville, which we loved the little quaint town down there as well. We're not ruling out all the other towns, though, because we still got a lot of exploring to do.
Yeah.
But so far, I think it's like it's like on the top of the list. Like,
Yeah.
really love just the views and everything out there. And the little town square we've talked about before, we love. And we went to that's a mouthful, Hog Hollow wood-fired pizza.
Yeah, and of course I loved
it.
it because it was pizza, but it's very good pizza, and it's a cool
Yeah.
place. It's like just
Oh, it was so loungy, just out a lot of
Yeah.
outdoor space.
a lot
And
of outdoor space. It's beautiful on the
Bring the
inside too. Did
dogs.
you even go in?
I didn't, because I
Yeah.
had the dogs at the table.
It was really cool on the
Lots of
inside.
people with dogs, though. I mean, I just really love that about this area.
Yeah.
We're dog people. you know.
So
So we
dog
don't want to
friendly.
leave, and we want to bring our dogs places.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to not bring them sometimes. I'm not going to lie, but we like bringing them with us.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just be able to take them pretty much anywhere we go.
Yeah, and they were very dog friendly. And there's like a nice bar on the inside. They serve a bunch of different beers, and they also have like a stage outside where they do like live music and stuff sometimes. So
Yeah.
that was really neat. But it's very hard to explain just how quaint it is
Yeah.
there in Burnsville and Micaville.
Yeah.
And so that's on our radar. We're gonna go
Yeah.
check out Hot Springs, I think, next.
Yep, I think. Well, we're going to Leicester this weekend. So we'll talk about that during our next, podcast where it's just us. But we have some other places we're checking out as well. Hot
Yeah.
Springs is on the list
Yeah,
as well.
very nice.
So, and big thanks to Chip for taking us on the hike, showing us
Indeed.
around, giving us like some cool information about the town. Again, we're kind of learning a little bit more about it each and every time that we
Chip,
head over there.
Can't thank Chip enough. It was so great too because he's also given us a little bit of history about the Mica mine and
Yeah.
we
We like that kind of stuff, though. So when somebody
yeah.
educates us about an area, we're really excited about that.
Yeah, he was like a tour guide. Yeah, it was very
like a little
nice. It was
tour
really
guide.
cool. And
His
then
mother is actually a tour guide
Oh, that
in
is she?
Burnsville. Yeah.
A real
she-
tour guide.
Yeah, she does little tours.
Oh,
Remember?
that's why
He told
he's
you
so
that?
good
Yeah.
at it. That's why he's so good. I might have been in getting pizza when he told me that.
Yep.
When he told you that. But also, then we also did the kayaking from Bent Creek to Hominy Creek. We've been talking about this for a while too. Never got the kayaks in the river up here
Yep.
until recently, and we just did that. It was really fun. There's some rapids on it, which was really neat. Something we're not used to in Florida. In fact, there's several spots where you really got to watch where the rocks are, or you're going to get stuck on bottom
Or tip over.
possibly even tip over, which I almost did once.
Yeah, and so it's a different river than we're used to because it's the French Broad, right? It's very wide.
Very broad.
Yeah, very broad. We're used to very narrow, kind of like windy rivers. Quiet little puppy dog down here. Mascots are out here trying to keep them entertained while we're recording.
They hear the other dogs.
Yeah, other dogs in the neighborhood. But anyway, it was cool to get them out, get the experience in so that we can get the dogs on there with us. We're going to try that soon.
That's next.
And
Oh, boy.
because we are going to go to Burgess Falls
I don't know how
in
to say it.
Tennessee.
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah, we're
with
going
the dogs.
on a little mini vacation with some friends of ours that live in Knoxville and another couple I don't think we've met yet. We might have met them at the
I don't think we
Halloween
did.
party.
Yeah, I don't think they were there.
Well, we're going to have a fun little weekend,
Yeah.
but we are going to take the dogs with us on that one. And Burgess Falls, if you know how to say it, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
We are going to have fun time there. I think you're going to bring your drone to that one, aren't you?
Not allowed to bring the drone.
Ow,
Yeah, I remember Daisy
bummer.
told us you can't bring the drone to
Oh,
that
that's
one,
a
but
big bummer. But it'd
okay.
be kind of hard to manage that and the dogs
with the
anyway,
dogs,
so,
yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
definitely want to
it's gonna
get
be
my
a good time though.
drone out a little more, but yeah, it'll be a great
Yeah,
time. And we've
Angie's
looked at-
making rum runners.
yeah, that'll be
We're gonna
fun.
make some rum runners, and because you can have alcohol on there, so it's okay.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm excited for it. It's gonna be
Yeah,
really fun.
very
We've got a
cool.
few days we'll be gone for that. But to bring it back local again for a minute, as we did that trip from Bent Creek to Hominy Creek, I think it took us like 3 hours.
About 3 hours.
Maybe a little more.
My favorite part is I love the little rapid parts. That's really fun. But once you get up to like the Biltmore area, it's really like little sandbars and stuff you can kind
Yeah.
of pull off on.
Gets really
and
pretty there.
It's really pretty. You can see the Biltmore. You
Yeah.
can, just see a lot of the property there. So that's kind of a cool little, go through right before you get to the very end of where you got to let your kayak out.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could go further, but I think our max is like 2 hours now.
Yeah, plus
3
and it's-
hours, it starts hurting your body.
It's also this time of year, it's very sunny, and just if you
Mm-hmm.
plan on doing that river, if you're coming up here to visit, if you maybe haven't done it yet, but you live here, there's not a lot of shade. So you can kind of go along the side of the river, depending on where the sun is at, and the trees will give you some shade. But for the most part, you are out in the sun. So wear a big hat and just kind of be ready for that part of it. Because
Yeah, get
That
your
was a bit
sunblock on
different.
because you are exposed
yeah,
to the
indeed.
sun for sure. But anyway, actually, right down the road from where we let in is the great little dentist that you found up here too.
I will tell you. So right before we moved up here, I'm talking 3 or 4 days before move day, I bit down on something and shattered one of my back molars. So I had to go get a root canal. And then when you get a root canal, they give you like a a filling, but you're supposed to go get your crown. Well, we've been trying to schedule and reschedule and reschedule. That's how long it's been. So I finally went and had them do it. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Avery Creek Dentist, Dr. Melanie Casey. It's her 10th year anniversary there. And they are just so nice, so professional. It's such a cool little hometown vibe. Brittany was the dental assistant that kind of set me up. She's the one I see every time in there. But they just make you feel comfortable. I would rather get an entire new tattoo sleeve in one sitting than go to the dentist and have them work. So I'm a little bit of a wimp at the dentist, and they are just so cool and so mellow, and did an amazing job on my tooth. So
And they're busy because I called to book an appointment just for a cleaning, and they're booked out till January.
Yes.
So I didn't book, but I think I probably just should go ahead and get a new one established.
Yeah.
We're going back to Florida in October, November sometime. And I was just going to go back to my other dentist.
You're holding on to those Florida. I'm doing that with some of my doctors.
I have 3 appointments scheduled when I'm down there because... And I think that's just because we're not, settled in, this isn't where we're going to live permanently. And I hate to just switch again. I hate getting used to new doctors.
I totally agree with you, but so far I'm so impressed with this dentist that I'll just drive the extra miles to go back to my dentist. I mean, it's nice that it's 5 minutes away now, but where else but sort of this North Carolina area can you be driving in this luscious scenery with like big pines and beautiful trees and a big rapid river, and then like 2 seconds later you're like the river's right beside you and you're driving and you turn to this quaint little house and it's the dentist, and it feels so
sits
small
right
town.
on the river right
on
there,
the river. Yeah, I
know
love
that
it.
is so cool, especially if they have big windows that like look out to it while you're getting your teeth work done. It's like a soothing feeling.
I'm sitting there like, she gave me the Novocaine. I'm looking out the window and there's all these trees going down the mountain. I'm like, oh, you guys, there's a fruit tree out there. And she's, it's something walnuts. Yeah, they're gonna be ready or whatever. It's hard to explain. It's just so different because I'm used to looking out into a parking lot while I'm getting my teeth worked on. Yeah. So it's a whole different vibe, you know.
And I have found the new favorite swimming spot for our pups. So I take them when I go for a walk or to have them swim in the river up to the North Carolina Arboretum.
Yeah, we've gotten our money worth out of that pass.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But there's Hominy Creek, and there's 2 sides that you can enter here. There's Hominy Creek Park, and there's Hominy Creek Greenway Park.
Yeah.
And the Greenway Park is kind of like the back entrance is what I would call it for us because it's closer. But there is the nicest little like beachy area that you can take the dogs down to, let them off the leash, swim till their little heart's content. And they can run, and other dog owners don't care if your dog's off the leash. I mean, you just ask, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's kids there or whatever, just ask. But they have a ball.
It is so cool. And I'll tell you, you have been doing this pretty much every day. I got to go the last time they went, and just to see little Oliver, who's
swimming now.
Afraid of water, just run right out into the middle of the river, and they'll go like out into the current. We got to call them back in.
Oh, yeah, Angie. The first time I took him there, I had to go swimming because
had to catch him.
Poor little Oliver is just going against the current. And Mackenzie, I can't find her. And I'm thinking she went under the water or something, and I'm going to have to go down the river and get her. And she's hiding over in the bushes, just looking like, look at him trying to swim. Little brat. Won't answer me when I'm screaming for her. Oh, gave me a heart attack.
So many cool dog places.
They have a fun time there.
They do. And, people are so chill. Like, nobody cares. I mean, we have them on the leash until we get up to the river, and then nobody cares. All the dogs are running around.
I mean, even on the trails out here, I know it says put your dog on the leash, but so many of the people, so many of the dogs are so well behaved. I mean, even better than ours. You know, like ours pretty much stay with the pack. They stay right with us.
Yep.
But Mackenzie's pretty stubborn. And
she won't come to you if you call her.
She kind of she will, but she's going to do it on her time. Like I'm going to come over there, but just give me a minute, Oliver, he pretty much is like
right
no,
on.
I want
he's very well behaved. Typical boy girl kind of vibe from those two with a Well,
I don't
boys
come when I'm cold.
The boys just fall in line. You know how that works. I'm just kidding. But I almost posted a video on our channel recently of Mackenzie going from the pool to the back door and you have to call her. Have you guys ever seen a turtle run at full speed? Because that's what she does. She will purposely go very slow and then stop, and they have to yell for her again. And then it's kind of funny, but also kind of annoying.
Yeah, when you're ready to get in and move on with your day, and she's like, I'm going to begrudgingly come up here. I'm not very happy that you turned off my water hose.
Right, yeah. She's too funny. But
they're funny creatures.
As we're getting close to wrapping up on this sort of short update, I wanted to mention that, Angie has been driving all over the place around here, all the way up to Tennessee.
I have.
Doing Uber.
I love it, actually.
Yeah.
So I started doing it so that, it's always nice to earn a little extra money when you're trying to, just pay stuff. But I really wanted to do it to learn the streets, because you're driving anytime we go out, unless I'm going to the grocery store or something. I do not know my way around here at all. And I'm like, well, what's a better way? I'm not just going to go aimlessly drive around. I'm going to make a little money while I'm doing it.
Of course, yeah.
But I love it. I've had great conversations.
I know, I love that you're doing that. You're enjoying it.
But
That's
I did,
so great.
I picked a couple guys up, and they didn't speak English, so we did Google Translator. So that's such a handy little tool.
Oh, it is
by the
indeed,
way.
yeah.
And they were going to Johnson City, Tennessee, an hour away. But I'm thinking, who's going to drive them there?
Yeah.
And I don't regret it. It was the most beautiful drive. There was barely any traffic after I got away from the airport.
Yeah.
It was one straight highway there where they were going pretty much. And the scenery, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I got to see the Blue Ridge Mountains as you kind of see those, but then you transition into the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee.
Yep.
And the mountains look different.
They're very different, yeah.
In Tennessee, there's a lot more of the exposed rock.
Yeah, and
which
you get closer.
Love.
They're not blue either.
They're not blue. They're smoky.
The chemical that comes off the Blue Ridge Mountains.
That's right.
Yeah, they're smoky, but you're right. I feel like
there's a difference in them, though. It's crazy.
It's funny to me because the Blue Ridge Mountains are always in the background. When you get closer to them, they're not blue anymore when you get close to them. They're beautiful, but they're covered in trees, and that's why we've been hiking and stuff.
Yep.
But I feel like in Tennessee, those Smoky Mountains, you can get right up to them and they still look like a mountain because it's rock. So you can still see rock.
Yeah, it's because of the exposed rock.
Yeah.
And you do get some of that here, too.
Yeah, yeah.
But there, I think you get a little more. But I was just looking all around, and there wasn't too much communicating because they didn't speak English. I'd make him get the translator out every time I would go and say, look at these beautiful mountains, And but anyway, it was a great ride.
That's awesome.
So,
that is awesome. Well, I just love you're doing that. I love that you're enjoying it. And
I'm having fun.
It's
I'm
great.
having fun. I get to help people too. Today I got to picked a lady up from the hospital and had to help her to her door, but it feels good to do that because I feel
you are like the above and beyond. You're like the Uber
driver.
But I'm customer
service oriented.
I know.
So
I know.
But speaking of customer service, let's just talk about how at the Linwood Lounge we go above and beyond. Right?
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
So at our Airbnb, so we. Our co-host Brianna, we're always coming up with new things to try to make the customer experience better and add revenue.
Of course, indeed.
As well, right?
Yeah.
So we have this new thing that we're going to be implementing with the next turnovers, what you call when you clean in between guests. So we have lockers in our laundry room. And in those lockers, we're going to have little kits, right? Of little fun things. I got a little spa package or a little beach package.
Yeah.
And they're little things you can purchase while you're there. And we give you the code to open the locker. And then you take your little items out, and it's just a fun little thing,
What a cool little add-on, though. Think about that. The
neat.
fact that you guys are already above and beyond with the Airbnb. And if you haven't listened before, we have our Florida home that's in Central Florida.
I just assume everybody listens all the time.
That's okay. And it's an Airbnb that's 20 minutes from Disney and the parks and stuff, but it's also near kayaking places and wedding venues. It's very central. And it's been doing really well, but partially because of Brianna and Angie's just meticulous attention to detail. We've got a great cleaning team. And of all the Airbnbs that we've stayed in, I wish we stayed in one that had everything you ever, I'm telling you, if you're like, God, I wish they had a garlic press. I mean, it's like everything you ever wanted.
And if I didn't think of it, I will send it to you.
Right. Overnight it to you. But now having these lockers where you can buy like a little kit that has maybe a birthday decoration thing, or maybe a beach toys in a bucket, or whatever. Just little add-ons you can have.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot. I wish I would have got, you can. It's right there.
Yeah.
Or
we've also partnered with Tornatore's Italian Market and Restaurante.
which is an amazing Italian restaurant right there
Yep.
near us.
In
They have
Florida,
a market
guys,
too in
sorry.
Florida. Yeah, so if you're there visiting, you have to check them out. We talk about them all the time.
They, Denny is going to do small and large charcuterie boards for us that guests can order a couple days ahead of time, and he'll have them delivered. So we have partnered with him.
And they are truly Italian. All the stuff is imported from Italy. Beautiful, amazing stuff. It's so good.
Beautiful. He is known as the charcuterie board king in Orlando.
They do classes. I'm talking different levels of classes and everything.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yep. So we're excited for that partnership, and hopefully, he gets some business from that. We make a little money from it, and the guests can take the stress out of trying to call around and find something like that.
Yeah, and just being able to, just having that delivered. I mean, I wish we could do that here from Denny. That'd be amazing.
But I love making charcuterie boards, and I will challenge Denny because I am pretty good at them. I'm just going to say, especially when I buy stuff from his market.
Yeah, from his market.
That makes it go over the top. Yep.
Yeah.
And what else? So, also for the Linwood Lounge, I met with Heather Moreland from Lakesite Accounting, who we've had on the show. And she's going to do a little counseling session with me on how to run QuickBooks so I can stop using my Google spreadsheets that are getting a little out of hand.
It's
I got a
you gotta
business.
start there.
I got to be legit,
Yeah.
and it will make tax time and everything a lot easier at the end of the year.
She's great.
It's a lot of work getting all that together. So
she's so smart with all that stuff. So I'm shout out to Heather, and thank you for helping us with that. The Linwood Lounge is the name of our Airbnb in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, now you hear the highway near us, maybe. Also, I was just thinking as we're wrapping up here, we are almost to National Chicken Wing Day, and if you don't know what that day is,
I don't either. July 29th.
Oh, you usually tell me. It was. Is that the day? I know it's in late July.
It's in late July.
So there's a day for everything, but we
Yeah.
we have really honed in on this one because we like hot sauce and he doesn't like chicken wings. This will be our 3rd annual chicken wing challenge. We'll have more details coming up on that, but we'll be using all local to the area made hot sauces, local to the area made beers. And we'll do this thing like we've done the past couple years. These are very popular episodes for us, but it'll also be a YouTube video. We're asking each other questions and eating everything from the mild wings all the way up to the hottest wings in the world. If you're familiar with a Hot One show on YouTube, it's very much like that.
Well, it was
as the wings.
inspired of that.
Oh, yeah,
We
I love
thought,
that
how
show.
can we include small business with that?
It
And
is so funny
it's
though.
fun. I like.
Especially when we get to the really hot ones and
It's
everyone's
one of our
falling.
most popular YouTube.
It really is. Yeah,
too.
that's what I was saying.
Because
Yeah,
it's funny.
really good.
It's funny.
Also, we want to start saying this more often, but we want to ask you that if you enjoy the show, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. That really will help us to sort of grow up in the algorithm. And also, even just liking a video will help us.
It does.
If you do subscribe, once we get up to a certain amount of subscribers, we can start monetizing our YouTube videos, which will help us sort of supplement the costs that everything takes to all the equipment that we use for our studio and interviewing.
Hosting and websites and everything like that.
And we'll put a link to our Cash App also. So if you want to make a direct donation, you can. But if you don't want to spend any money and you just want to help us for free, liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel is just the way to do that. We cannot thank you enough. We really appreciate it.
Also sharing maybe on your social media if you know other small businesses that would be interested in listening, or people that, really support small business.
Yeah.
Just sharing it so that we can grow our followers and be exposed to more people.
Indeed. And if you know a small business or are a small business or an independent artist or think you just have an interesting story, please feel free to reach out to us for any of these reasons. You can find us at the email address that we'll put in the show notes, so I don't have to say it. You don't have to try to write it down. And I'll put the phone number for the podcast also in there.
Yeah, all those links can be found at the bottom of the show notes.
Yeah,
right?
we really do appreciate it very much. And we love how much the Asheville and surrounding towns have been so supportive of us, and we are so supportive of small business. So We just want to remind you, please shop local. It helps the people that you know that own businesses. Those big corporations don't need any more of your money. So, let's help our own community and shop local for sure.
That's right, guys. And thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us. And remember, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dandy. Cheers again. Hi, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, we would love a review. So make sure to head over to your Apple Podcast app or whatever app you listen to your podcast on and give us a 5-star review. Also, give us a like and a follow on our social media. You can find that all under Fine and Danjee. And if you want to find out more about our guest or about us, head over to fineanddanjee.com.